Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. Well, a FoxxConn worker has leaked some information regarding the Nintendo Switch, and this was between a conversation between two of the workers in the factory, and they were discussing the specs and what's going on with the system. Now, I want to clarify to everybody out there that this is a rumor. It does seem credible, I must say, but as all rumors, we must take it with a grain of salt. Now, I'm going to just read you little excerpts of the article, and of course, you can click on the link in the description, and I will leave it there so you guys can see the Reddit post for yourself. Now, the worker here starts discussing the dock. He says there's no advanced technology in the dock. It seems pretty cheap. It feels plasticky. There's no extra power. It's just an output of one USB 3.0, one HDMI port, and two USB 2.0s on the dock. He says there's no fan on the dock, but there's a hole in the back to allow air to flow out of the console's top vent. Now, I got to say that this is being translated from Chinese, so it's not going to translate properly. So just bear that in mind as I read this back to you guys. Now, he goes into talk about the console. He says, looking at the screen, it looks like it's a 1080p multi-touch screen. And according to the specs, you can see a 5 times 0.8 centimeter heat sink from the vent. And it's a 12 centimeters L-shaped heat pipe. So that's like, I believe that's like half a foot. So that's pretty good. That's really good liquid cooling that they have going on in there. That lets me know what kind of hardware they're having. It's something really serious in there that they need to cool it down. And he says the heat performance is really good. He says it's not too hot from the console. And he says that right now they're testing millions of fish running in a demo. He said it's been running for almost 8 days and there's not a single frame drop. He said the screen is not very bright. He speculated you can't see clear from the outdoors looking at the inside of it. And he said that it's a 10 by 10 core. I don't know what he means by a 10 by 10 core because I know most of the cores are 8 CPU cores. So I don't know if they're using some new technology here or if something got lost in the translation. But that's what he says nonetheless. He says that the CPU is at 1785 megahertz and the GPU is at 921 megahertz. He says it's using a CPU as ARM 73 Pascal. He says it's much more powerful than the X1. Now, this is the important takeaway here. He's saying it's much more powerful than the X1. Now, the Tegra X1 chip was pretty good, and if he's saying it's much more powerful than that, I would say this is bringing it into Xbox PS4 territory. I would say roughly about the same as Xbox, maybe a little bit more powerful than Xbox, not as powerful as PS4, somewhere around there, which is quite good because, you know, the specs were looking quite weak from the leaks that we got earlier in the year. So, you know, to be honest with you, this gives me a little bit more hope for the system, and this gives me a little bit of excitement and anticipation for their January 13th announcement, because we have had some price leaks already, and apparently it's going to be $250 US, the base unit. I guess they're going to have some other bundles, but the base unit is going to be $250 US. Now, if you can provide that type of power in a handheld that also doubles as a home console, I think Nintendo might have a hit here. Now, I'm like I said, I'm gonna leave a description. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you guys can go over the article for yourself. I don't want to be here for like half an hour reading it out for you guys. I just want to go over the basic stuff. Now, he talks about the Joy-Con. Now, the Joy-Con are the two controllers on the side, if you've seen the reveal video, where you can slide them up and slide them off, and then you can play independently off of the console looking at the screen. Now, he says there's two shoulder buttons on each Joy-Con. They are called the SL and SR. He says it's very complex inside. Apart from the motherboard and the console and the screen, the Joy-Con is the most valuable part in the whole system. He says there's a battery inside the Joy-Con, and it's about 5 centimeters to 2 centimeters times 0.5 centimeters. He says it's very light, 50 grams, and he says the battery is 525 milliamps. So basically, the Joy-Cons are the little joysticks there, when they're going to have additional batteries in it. So I guess that's going to have something to do with the battery life. Like I said, everything is a little bit confusing in the translation, but I think the gist of it is that the little controllers there offer additional battery life. Now, he goes on to say about production. He says oops, sorry about that. He says that they're producing about 2,100 systems a day, and he says the whole factory can produce 20 20,000 per day, and he says it's very good quality control, so he says you don't have to worry about the build quality, and they're shipped to Japan, and they've been shipped to Japan and Australia recently. Now he also went on to talk about an advanced dev kit that basically has double the power of the core system. So he says there's a dev kit. It's a much more powerful version, producing 2,000 units a day for now. He says the core is 1 times bigger, and I don't know, a lot of stuff gets lost in the translation here. You guys can look over it, but he's basically saying that there's a lot more cores on it. It's basically double the RAM. It's got a lot more storage. It's got a lot more GPU and PCU power. It's got 2 times Wi-Fi. It's got 1 HDMI. It's got a mini display port. It's got an Ethernet port on it, and he says it also has 2 unidentified sockets and 3 network LED indicators. Now he also said that the power inside on this dev kit is speculated to provide that the core is only included in the GPU. It would be even more powerful than the Ps4 Pro. He said the screen is the same size as the normal one. It's much more powerful, but also much heavier. He says it's not feeling great in the hand, and he speculated it's for 4K gaming. He says he hasn't seen such a huge core, and it's 60 nanometer plus it's 100mm 2 main core, and he says there's no battery inside that version. I'll try to see if I can find the picture to put it with this video or put a link down there, but I did see a picture somewhere on the net. And now this is interesting to me. Like, what are they going with? Why are they making the dev kit that much? I know the dev kit is usually a little bit more powerful to give them a little bit more space, you know, and then as it comes closer to launch, they can start to shrink it down to what they really need to get it to. But to have almost double the power doesn't make sense to me. Are they playing with different architectures here? They're not architectures. Are they playing with different configurations? Are they going to have a high-end one, a low-end one, or are they in between? Are they unsure which version they want to release to the market? Anyways, I find this news pretty exciting because we did think that the Nintendo Switch was going to be quite weak. I want to know what you guys think, so please leave your comments down below, and I'll ask you guys to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.